It's December 1st, 2018. CCTV captures 22-year-old Grace Millane and her Tinder date, Jessie, preparing to leave a bar in downtown Auckland, New Zealand. They had met only a few hours earlier, but already they were heading back to his place. From the outside, everything appeared to be going perfectly. Too perfectly. Moments later, cameras record them walking hand in hand toward a nearby hotel, then stepping into an elevator, and finally disappearing into Jessie's hotel room. No one could have imagined. This would be the last time Grace Millane would ever be seen alive. The next day was supposed to be her birthday, but no one could reach her. Not her friends, not her family. Hours passed, then days. It was as if Grace had vanished off the face of the earth. Her loved ones immediately reported her missing, triggering a nationwide search. But while police were desperately looking for Grace, CCTV cameras were recording Jessie, in and out of elevators, carrying cleaning supplies, and then dragging a heavy suitcase. A suitcase whose contents would soon shock the entire world. And what makes this even more terrifying is that while Grace was missing, her killer already had another date lined up. If police hadn't intervened in time, another innocent girl, and possibly many more, could have fallen victim to the very same man. Grace Millane was a 22-year-old university graduate from Wickford, England. She was kind, warm, full of life. Friends described her as adventurous and fearless. In 2018, Grace decided to take a solo trip around the world. She traveled through South America, exploring Peru, Colombia, and Chile, before finally arriving in New Zealand. She documented everything: photos, videos, smiling selfies. She messaged her family every single day, until December 1st, her birthday, the day she met a stranger who would change everything. On the evening of December 1st, Grace opened Tinder. There, she matched with a 26-year-old man named Jesse. They agreed to meet in the city center. At 7:05 p.m., Grace was captured entering a bar. Minutes later, Jesse arrived. They ordered drinks. They talked. They laughed. CCTV footage shows them moving from bar to bar. At 9:40 p.m., they were recorded kissing. At 10 p.m., they walked hand in hand through downtown Auckland. Everything looked normal. Everything looked romantic. But behind that smile, a predator was hiding. At 9:41 p.m., they entered the City Life Hotel. Moments later, the elevator doors closed behind them, and Grace was never seen alive again. What happened inside that room would later be pieced together through forensic evidence, CCTV, and Jesse's digital footprint. At some point during the night, Grace was strangled. This was not an accident. This was not consensual. Forensic evidence showed she fought desperately for her life. Bruising around her neck, defensive injuries on her hands. She was conscious. She was terrified. And she struggled to breathe. Her death was slow, painful, and violent. After she died, Jesse did not call emergency services. He did not ask for help. Instead, he stayed in the room. He took photographs. He searched online. How long does strangulation take to kill? Can someone die hours later from choking? Then he ordered food, watched pornography, and slept next to her body. The next morning, Jesse left the hotel, not to confess, not to seek help, but to meet another woman. Less than 24 hours after killing Grace, he went on another Tinder date. They went to a movie. He laughed. He flirted, as if nothing had happened. Later that day, he returned to the hotel. He bought cleaning supplies, large quantities, enough to erase a crime scene. CCTV captured him making multiple trips up and down the elevator. Then came the suitcase. Large, heavy, and dragged across the floor. Inside was Grace Millane. Jesse rented a car. He purchased a shovel. Then he drove nearly 300 kilometers into the remote Waitakere Ranges forest, deep into isolated terrain, where no one would hear, no one would see. There, he dug a shallow grave and buried Grace. He covered her with soil, branches, leaves, then calmly drove back to Auckland, as if her life had meant nothing. Meanwhile, Grace's disappearance made international headlines. Her parents flew to New Zealand. Search teams combed forests, hotels, and city streets. Police tracked CCTV footage. One image kept appearing: the same man. Finally, they identified Jesse. He was arrested. When confronted with the evidence, his story collapsed, and the truth emerged. During the trial, shocking details came to light. Jesse had a history of violent sexual behavior. Multiple women testified that he strangled them during sex, without consent. Some barely escaped. Others said they were terrified. Grace was not his first victim of violence. She was the one who didn't survive. In 2019, he was found guilty of murder, sentenced to life in prison. Grace Millane was not just another true crime story. She was a daughter, a sister, a friend, a traveler chasing her dreams. Her life ended because she trusted the wrong person. And her story reminds us of a terrifying truth. Sometimes, the most dangerous monsters don't hide in the shadows. They sit across from you, smile at you, and ask if you'd like another drink. If you like our content and want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe to our channel by clicking the subscribe button below.